Good afternoon, Josh. Welcome to this program of EPPO by LMI. Welcome to the kickoff conference of the Effective Personal Productivity Program. My name is Som Chakraborty, and I am a LMI licensee for Thane and Bombay. This program has hugely benefited millions of people worldwide, and I'm sure this will benefit you greatly as well. Over the next 8 weeks, we will work on improving productivity and your success as a leader, both in your business life and your personal life. LMI is spread around 80 countries and our programs are available in 26 different languages. Over 2.75 million people worldwide have done our programs. Paul Mayer was the person who had the idea ahead of his time. He became a millionaire at the age of 27 using the principles as a key, one of which was goal setting. He believed that the process he used on himself would work for all people, and his companies SMI, FMI, and LMI, Leadership Management International, were born. Paul Mayer passed away a few years ago. Randy Schlecher is the CEO of LMI at present. Apart from co-authoring several programs with Paul Mayer, he also co-authored a book, 5 Pillars of Success, with him. LMI has total leader concept. We have several programs that cover the layers of leadership. We will be going into details later on this session. This is the first program, the Effective Personal Productivity in the series, which equips you to become a powerful role model for others. This is the start of your leadership journey. I too started the LMI journey one day in my life, and it has been extremely fulfilling journey. I congratulate you on the start point of your journey enhancement. So I will introduce myself and then we'll move on to you. My name is Som Chakraborty. I'm an HR professional of 31 years of experience. I've had global and pan-India roles in my past. My proudest moment has been when I climbed, peak in near Darjeeling, which is 3,782 meters above sea level, called Sandakphu.
Oh,
And I was extremely proud of this. And I am married. I've got 2 children. And my favorite ice cream is Tender Coconuts by Naturals. Over to you, Josh.
hi, I'm Josh. I'm 25 years old. I live in Thane, and I work as a cinematographer at a small production house that is based in Thane itself. I have a big and a large interest in playing sports, and I also do follow sports as it is, as the football goes professionally and the leagues, and so I have interest in sports quite a bit, and I think my proudest moment would be that I um, passed out of college, and yeah, that would probably be my proudest moment.
How did you feel?
And
How did you feel when you came to this proudest moment?
I think I felt a sense of accomplishment because clearing college actually was my parents and my whole family's dream, but I did it for myself. I didn't do it for them. I did it for myself, and I think that was an accomplishment that I felt proud of myself for. So that was that, and I'd say my favorite ice cream would be Cotton Candy by Baskin Robbins.
Wonderful, Josh. You'll come and you'll visit your proudest moments many a time during this program and after this as well. I guarantee you, you'll have a lot of success and a lot of proud moments in life. Thank you.
Great. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Josh, let me share with you a brief about the two of the most outstanding people in the world. One is Paul Mayer. Paul J. Mayer is the founder of LMI. He started from a very humble background, and the initial years, probably 1 or 2 years, when he started his life as an insurance agency, was very troublesome and tough. So one day he took some time off and decided to look into where he was going wrong, and he worked it out, and he became the highest achieving insurance agent in that organization at the age of 27. He became a millionaire, and thereafter he decided to share everything that he learned with everybody through SMI and LMI. Paul Mayer, after Paul Mayer, Randy Sletcher took over and started working with him, and finally took over as the CEO of LMI after the demise of Paul Mayer. Randy Sletcher has written a number of books and is a doyen in this subject. So this is what I wanted to share with you. EPPU program is about building your personality and how you do your actions and the stuff in life in the real world.
Okay.
I sent you the pre-conference form. Do you have the printout handy with you?
Yes, I have it right with me. And
Fine. Good. Most important is, Josh, what are your strengths? You've written it on the top. You should have written it on the top.
I have written it. My strengths are, I think, my main strength is my creativity. The ways that I can think outside of the box.
Okay, thinking out of the box.
I think I am a highly emotional person, and I do not consider that as one of my weaknesses. I think that is one of my strengths.
So it is.
Whereas my work involves showing a lot of emotion in how I show my films or my videos. So emotions have a very big part of that. I'd like to say my instinct is pretty strong, and I always follow my instinct. Whatever I work on, I work on with whatever I work on, I work with it. I work on it with finesse and with a touch of a little bit of some sort of style and crispness. So neat work I do, and I like to do it well. So finesse is one of my strengths, and as a person, I think I'm very adjusting. So I think that is also a very nice thing. And yeah, I think I work. I'm a good team player, and when it comes to work, I'm a hard worker, so I'm competent also.
Wonderful, Josh. These are wonderful strengths, and I'm sure it'll stand good state with you throughout your life. They're wonderful. I congratulate you, and I think you are doing wonderful as of now. There are 15 items in this pre-conference form over here. You need to rate on 1 to 10, and circle your choice where you stand at the moment. Underline the choice of number you wish to reach. Out of the 15, what are the 5 most important challenges to you?
I think the first one is self motivation. I think I lack self motivation, and I think I need to work on that quite a bit because for anything to work on anything, you need to be motivated, and uh, for it to be shown in your work, you need to be motivated, and to do your best, you need to be motivated. So I think a
Good.
lot of the times I have not felt motivated. In fact, I felt demotivated to work. So I think I have to work on that. That was probably my main priority. Self motivation is my main priority, and I think I'd give from 1 to 10. I think I'd give a 3, and I'd want to work on it to an 8 because I believe self motivation can help me quite a bit. So yeah.
Wonderful. What are the second ones, second and the third and the rest of the five?
The second one I'd say is decision making. I'm quite poor in decision making in my field. Need to work on this definitely. Third, I would say is problem solving. I mean, I can problem solve, but I think I need to practice it a lot more to gain my confidence. So problem
Good.
solving, and my field involves a lot of different types of problem solving and a variety of problems. So I need to know all A to Z of problem solving. So
Okay.
I'd give myself a 5 or a 6, maybe a 5, and I'd like to work on it to an 8 or a 9. So that is my third. And my fourth is, I think, meeting deadlines. I'm very poor in meeting deadlines. Usually, when a deadline is thrown at me, uh, I can never reach the deadline because there's always a lot of work, and it gets a little difficult. And I can go on with the excuses, but the deadlines are never met. So I'd like to work on that. I'd give myself from 1 to 10 a rating of 3, and I'd like to work on it to a 6. And yeah, so I just want to add that me being the person I am, I'm very poor with time. So I'd like to work on that for sure.
So
Then
time
my
management is
last
your,
one.
sorry.
Yes, time management is one of my weaknesses, and I would love to work on it.
Okay.
And my fifth one will be goal setting and achieving. I have to set better goals. I have never set um, uh, the proper goals that I need to and I should for myself, for my own career. And so from a 1 to 10, I think I'd give myself a 4, and I'd like to work on it as much as I can to bring it up to a 6. So those are my five
You didn't you
highlighted.
didn't give you didn't give me the rating for decision making. What did you rate yourself there?
For decision making, I think I'd rate myself a 4,
Yes.
and I'd like to bring it up to a 7 or an 8, possibly an 8.
Wonderful, Josh. These challenges are no different challenges from any other person anywhere in the world, either individual, entrepreneur, or corporate. So these are good challenges, and I'm excited to help you out through the process of EPP to work on these challenges and overcome them. So let's get started, Josh. Which are the three most, three of these challenges that impact your performance as a person from these five? Could you
Um,
circle them out and keep them in priority one, two, and three?
Self-motivation, I think, is a big part of my performance. If I'm not motivated,
Okay.
the work can be seen that the performance is decreased, and I think if I'm 100% motivated to do my work, I think my work is 100% from my side. So, and I'm happy with it as well. So I think self motivation is the main thing for me that
So
I
we'll
need
put
to
it as the
work
number
on.
one challenge.
Yes, yes.
What's the second
Self
one?
motivation being one. The second one would probably be decision making, because in my field there are a variety of options to go around and go about a problem, but it is the correct decision making that shows in this. So if I work on my decision making to a point where I don't take too much time to make a decision and I'm fast enough to make a decision, that will help me in my work definitely. So this is a second priority. And my third priority would be problem solving, I think. No, I think my
What
third, yeah, I'd say
what
my
about goal
problem solving.
setting?
I think once I work more, my goals and setting my goals will be more clearer. So these three, I think, are the foundation of my increase in performance. So I think if I work on these three problems, these three challenges, I think my performance will be much naturally be better.
Excellent. So let's start off with the first challenge. Okay, we'll start off with the challenge, which is, I think, lack of self motivation,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So, lack of self motivation. How important is this for you, Josh?
So there have been days where I've gone for a shoot or my work, and I have just accepted to work on this project just for the sake of working, and I have not felt the motivation to do it. So I feel um, the lack of motivation that I have can really affect me and really impact me quite a bit, because the whole day goes haywire if I am not motivated and I'm not in the right mindset to do my work. So this impacts my mood, this impacts my performance, and this impacts a lot of things. So yeah, this is a very impactful thing, part of my part of something that I want to work on.
So, Josh, if you are not self motivated and it affects your mood, what happens?
Uh, First of all, my performance will decrease, and that directly kind of relates to my mood, obviously. And if I'm not in the proper mindset, I think a lot of things can go wrong. I am expected to do this type of work in the workspace, but I'm unable to do it because my mind is somewhere else. So I'm distracted because I'm not motivated to do this work. So yeah.
If things go wrong, what will happen then?
If things go wrong, I will miss out on this important shot that I need to take that will make the video better, or I will miss out on something that I needed to capture, or I will myself feel like I should have done it or I could have done it, and that would linger around in my own head, and it would be in the back of my head, and I'd feel disappointed by that.
So
And
if you give
also the
some,
work,
yeah, please carry on.
also my work would, I mean, it would show in my performance. The performance decrease when this happens. When everything goes wrong, and I've made a wrong decision, or I've not done something right.
Correct.
Um, the whole video or the whole project kind of doesn't make sense anymore. So
If you were to give some points in terms of, in terms of losses, in terms of money worth for not being in the right mood, not working, just working for the sake of working, missing out on important shots. How uh, you know how much would you put it as a loss in terms of points if this happens?
um, I think in terms of points, I'm not sure how to measure it, but there is a variety of things that come around it. If I have not done my job, my bosses will come and they'll expect um, this and this and that and that, and I'm unable to give them an answer. So that is something that I have always faced when there's a difficulty that has come my way and I am not motivated to even work on that project. I feel like I have let my bosses down, and I've let myself down as well. So it's yeah, it just gets disappointing.
Wonderful, Josh. Well, I have great news for you, Josh. You will not only conquer this, but do great in the program. So these are
Okay.
a number of reasons that you've got, a lot of reasons over here. These things are all things that will happen in this program. Lot of changes, lot of victories will be seen by you. These are significant things, Josh. Would you like to move up on this, Josh?
Yes, of course.
So we have looked at three important things that would impact your performance. These are
Yeah.
challenges. Would you agree?
Yes, of course. These are challenges.
So could you pick the second one, the second most important challenge after this?
Mm, decision making.
Okay. And the third one?
And the third one would be problem solving.
Okay. Uh, would you like to take up any other challenge other than this, uh, if it's not listed over here as a challenge in the pre-conference form?
Mm, I think all of these challenges sum it up, and I wouldn't have an extra challenge. I don't think.
Absolutely fine, Josh. Absolutely fine. What are the two things you would like to happen but is not happening in your personal life? Write down top two things. Two things.
Um, as the challenge.
Hear me out here nicely. What are the two things that would happen but are not happening in your personal life as a challenge, as a problem, as an issue, whatever? What are the two top things that are not happening but you would like it to happen?
Um, I think I would like to feel independent in my career and in my life. I think I've been a lot too dependent as a person, That is one thing. I think I'd like to be independent. And second thing, mm, I'd like to have a better income.
Okay. So, Josh, suppose you had joined a coaching camp for cricket, or let's say football. You will not know how good you are until you face the matches, say the league matches that you have, inter district, intercity matches. So, at least five of them, if you've not had five matches, how will you know how good you are? Correct?
Yes.
So, supposing you conquer lack of self motivation, how will it help?
Um, I feel if I have the lack of self motivation, I feel um, can you repeat that again? It's
Okay,
been
suppose you had a coaching camp for football. You will not know how good you are until you face a match, at least five league matches, inter-district or intercity. Correct?
yes.
So you need to work on these and you need to test yourself in the real world. Correct?
Yes.
So supposing you conquer, uh, say, problem solving, how will it help you?
Mm, if I've gone for a league match, as you're saying, and it's a football match, and I've understood problem solving. I think if I've understood and conquered the ways of problem solving, um, then that will definitely help me compete better and to perform better. Because uh, if I'm going to be playing a match, and obviously the opponent that I'm playing against is not going to go easy on me. He's also going to be as competitive as I am. So once I have faced a problem and I have come across a problem, solving the problem is the first thing to better things out and to understand uh, how it is to be done and what is the road to victory. So I think problem solving, um, if I conquer problem solving and I understand problem solving, I have different ways. Since I am a creative person, I'll come up with different ways to solve that problem. So it is a very important thing for me.
Josh, what will you invest in? What
What
will
would
you
I
invest
invest in?
in working on this problem solving?
Mm, I think for one, I'd need to have a lot more problems to know how to solve them. Um, and secondly, I think once um, once I know that I'm able to solve a problem, and if I do that once, I think that can help me, and I know that I can do it again.
So you
So
would like to have situations where you can test it.
yeah, of course, I'd have to test myself only to know, and that's exactly as I'm saying. More problems need to be thrown at me for me to understand where I lie.
So you'll have to invest some time in it to work on them.
Yes.
Good, good,
Yes.
wonderful. Uh, are you willing to take it up as a goal? Problem solving,
Yes.
as well as lack of self motivation
Yes.
and decision making.
Yes.
How important are these for you?
Um, I think if these three uh, go together and I have mastered all three of them, I think work for me will be much easier, will be much efficient, and I'll be happier as well.
So, Josh, we guarantee you that you will be better a person and much more organized during this course and after the course as well, after going through it. So, Josh, let me give you an insight. These are motives that we have selected, five of them, and said which are important. You selected two very, very important ones, which are absolutely the ones that will help you reach your goals in life. So, I encourage all of you to create goals out of these challenges that you've written it down. Please take down your win-win sheet and write it down, and we'll go through it step by step thereafter. Josh, please finish off this win-win goal. As we worked out, and finish it off and come with it for the next session, so that we can ratify it as an agreement between us of these goals to be attained. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How many? How would you feel being successful tomorrow than you are today?
Um, I'll definitely feel motivated to do what I have to do. Um, I'll feel confident, motivated, and I think that trust that I should have in myself, that will be much easier for me to do my work. So it is very important.
Okay. So just note it down. Success, and then you have, right below that, make two columns over there. In the
Right.
right hand column, write P, below that R, below that W, below that P again, below that P, and below that G. Right hand column, below
All
success.
right.
In
Yeah.
the left hand column, uh, we'll add on as we're talking, okay? So we define success as the progressive realization of worthwhile, predetermined personal goals. So the first P right over there stands for progressive.
Okay.
Second one starts for realization.
Okay.
W stands for worthwhile.
All right.
The next P stands for predetermined.
Predetermined,
The next one stands for personal.
personal
And the last one, G for goals.
goals. All right.
So, Josh, what do you understand by these terms over here? The progressive, realization, worthwhile, predetermined. What do you understand from that?
Um, with the word progressive, I think the meaning that I have in my head would be mm, getting to do getting to do the work in a different way, and getting to progress basically in a different way and in a new and a unique way. That is what I feel progressive is, and in an alternate way. That is what I feel progressive
So,
is.
Josh, progressive is basically moving from one state to the other state. It's a dynamic situation. That's
All right.
what means, progressive. So success
Yeah.
is progressive. It is ongoing. It is dynamic. It's a journey. It's not a destination. Progressive means that you're successful as soon as you set a goal and begin working on it.
All right.
Success comes not when you reach a goal, but as soon as you take action to accomplish it. So it is the
Right.
journey. It is the journey.
Right.
So the second term, realization, what does it mean to you?
Realization means say you're doing your work in a particular way, but then you understand that this is not the right way to do this work, and this other way, that the new way that you're learning is actually the right way to do your work. So you get realization, and you understand what is to be done, and what your next uh, way of working at is. So realization is when you understand is understanding.
Wonderful. So success actually means realization. This means you are actually accomplishing a goal. It is dawning onto you on a basis of an experience of accomplishing a goal. You don't
That's
set
right.
goals, you are realizing them.
Right.
What do you mean by worthwhile?
Um, Worthwhile would be worth your time, that it's going to help you, and yeah.
So worthwhile means it's worth something. It
Right.
has it has a worth, net worth. Success means your goals are worthwhile. You might ask, worthwhile to whom? Well, first of all, it's worthwhile to you. Your goals
Right.
might also be worthwhile to others. They must be worthwhile in that they do not violate any laws. So worthwhile has a
Time.
cost in terms of
Right.
effect. So what do you mean by predetermined?
Predetermined is something that you are ready for and you're determined to do, that you want to do. You have realized it, you have realized your goal, and now you are working towards it, and you are determined to achieve that goal. So before you even start the action, that is what I feel predetermined is.
Okay. Your goals must be predetermined. Basically, this means we must think about our goals and plan for them. You need
Right.
to know where you will be in a year, 3 years, 5 years from now. And predetermined suggests you decide your goals will be, they're not chosen for you by someone else. They are for you.
All right. That's for me.
But there is a time bound effect over there.
Right.
You determine that. So your goals are personal. They must be your goals. When you work to achieve someone else's goals, you're not as motivated as when you work for your own goals. Correct?
Right.
So suppose I
Right.
ask you, Josh, these are my goals. Can you work on it? I mean, how does it help you?
Right. It won't.
Finally, the word goals, that is what we've been talking about. Your goals must be specific. It cannot be any generalized thing. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and tangible. And income and encompass all areas of your life: career, family, financial, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. The 6 areas of life.
Right.
Success is goal directed action. So, if you have goals and are working towards them, then you are successful. Can you identify with this definition? Success is goal directed action.
Can I identify?
With this term, success is goal directed action.
Yes.
How do you identify with it?
Um, mm, so basically, when you have set your goals and you have surrounded those goals with the proper and the right action, then I feel you will accomplish them. So success
Right,
comes then.
right. So let me put it in a different way. So if you have goals and are working towards them, then you are successful. Sometimes
Okay.
people fail to recognize how important it is to have goals, particularly written goals. So many people say I've got my goal in my mind and all that. There has been a study in the US of the most successful people, and it has been seen the most successful people are the ones who have had written down goals vis-a-vis people who have not had written down goals. So it's very, very important that you have written down goals.
All
Okay.
right.
So now we come to the term motivation. What does motivation mean to you?
Motivation means the drive to do something.
So let's divide the word motivation into two. If you put a oblique sign, like cutting it, after the word, write down, if you've written down the word motivation, if you cut it into half, MOTIV is one word, A, and then give a dash for TION,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Now, MOTIV, if you add an E to that, it becomes motive,
Right.
a purpose. And if you add A and then after A add a C, it becomes action.
Right.
So basically what motivation becomes is it's a action derived from a motive.
Right.
So motivation basically means goal directed action.
Goal directed action. All right.
So if success and motivation were really simple as that, more people would be successful and more people would be motivated. So
Yes.
let's look at all kinds of motivation used by companies and see why they haven't been more effective. So the first step you have, the first one is fear motivation. Okay? Fear gives you a force. It's an external input, it's temporary. So I can scare you, I can put fear into your mind to do something. You would do it because you're scared, but you wouldn't probably do it to the extent that you would like to do it if it was on your own.
Right.
People build up an immunity to fear motivation. They learn to work just hard enough that that little bit of fear is there. So they learn to work hard enough just to do that part and keep you happy on that, so that that fear doesn't befall on themselves, to keep the boss off their backs, as they don't do anything without checking with the boss to be sure it's okay. Fear motivation is external force. It's not from within. It's not internal. And it is temporary. Okay.
Good to
So
know.
Huh? Yes. Yes, Josh?
I'm saying it's good to know that fear is an external thing and not an interior thing.
Yes. And it is temporary, okay? You'll be scared for some time, and after that, the scare gets over.
You
So,
overcome.
yeah, so suppose I tell you, uh, I'm going to throw you into jail if you don't do this. The first time, you'll be really scared. So you do the job. The second time I tell you, I'll throw you to the jail if you don't do this. Second time you do it, but you know the first time I didn't put you into jail. So if it goes on often, very often, after some time, that effect of that fear goes away.
Right.
So the next we have incentive motivation. We spoke about fear motivation. The next one is incentive motivation. Incentive motivation is basically reward, pro reward. It gives you rewards. It is external. It is also temporary. So I tell you, Josh, I will give you 10,000 rupees if you do this. So you do it. The next time I will tell you 10,000. Now you use this 10,000. You probably had, you know the how much to the extent to which you can use it. The second time I tell you, you will be less reward oriented for that 10,000 because you've already seen what 10,000 can get. It can't get more than that. So it will become little less. The third time I say 10,000, or 10,000 mein to I bought a mobile, I bought this. Now what is there? So it is again external. Incentives and rewards are external. And it is also temporary.
All right.
So the type of motivation we are going to focus on in this program is attitude motivation based on change.
All right.
Attitude motivation works because it is internal, it is not external. This means you motivate yourself, you don't rely on anyone else to
Hmm.
motivate you. So let's look at motivation in a classic example of the donkey pulling a cart. The donkey pulling at a cart and you're hanging a carrot right in front. Okay? First, the donkey must be hungry and likes carrots, so he will move, trying to grab the carrot. And then he moves a little bit more. He eats a bit more. The carrot must be big, juicy, attractive enough. The stick must be of the right length, of course, not too long, not too short. If all these elements are just right, incentive motivation works and the donkey pulls the cart. So, what happens if the donkey is now had a whole cabbage that was on the marketplace? Does he feel motivated enough to eat a carrot now?
I don't think so.
Correct. So you can take away the carrot and just the stick as a whip, and you can bring fear motivation with the stick or the carrot. They may work for a while. What if you change the donkey into a thoroughbred, a horse, and it ran for the sheer joy of running? There would be no need to whip it or give it a carrot.
Right.
Well, we're not dealing with donkeys and horses. We're dealing with people.
Right.
And people are thoroughbreds to start with. And if they are treated like thoroughbreds, they will perform like thoroughbreds. Isn't it?
Right. Of course.
That's where attitude motivation comes into play.
All right.
So, attitude change, Josh. How do you change attitude? What do you mean by that attitude change? Now, if I'm going to show you the attitude motivation will literally change your life and give you more control than you ever realized. Almost everything we do every day is out of habit. So if I show you how attitude changes and motivates you, what will you do? How will you feel?
Mm, I will say I will feel like a changed man. I will feel obviously naturally motivated to do what I want to do because my attitude is in the right place, and yeah,
Right. Almost everything we do every day is out of habit. Some are good habits, some are bad habits. Now we learn to do things and they become habits as early as we form habits like walking, talking, riding a bicycle, tying your shoelaces, hundreds of other things. Now these are automatic and reflective, reflexive, reflexive. We often talk about habits are being bad because we tend to focus on our negative habits. But the truth is that overwhelming majority of your habits are good habits and that make you productive. It has been said, first you make habits and then your habits make or break you. Since habits are important, let us look how they are formed and how they can be changed. How did you get to think and act the way you do in the first place?
mm, how did I?
Get to think and act the way you do in the first place as of now.
I think when you are supposed to do something, the first time you do it, there is not so much thought put into it, so you just do it. But then, as you do it and you experience it, you understand there are a few problems that you need to work on, which also includes your attitude. So when you change that, a lot of things change for you, is what I feel. So once you change the attitude, obviously it's not going to come in the first try. You're not going to be that talented that it's going to be a piece of cake for you at the first try itself. Obviously, it's going to take you a lot of time and practice and understanding for you to know what it is to get to the right attitude of working towards the thing. So yeah.
So let's go back to that first column that we were writing about success. We wrote about progressive realization in the right hand side column, correct?
Right.
In the
Yes.
left hand side column, write success, just opposite progressive.
Okay.
Then you write results. Then you write behavior act.
Right next to.
Each word in the right hand column parallel to that in the same line.
All right. All right.
So behavior act would be the third one. Attitude is habit of a thought. Next is conditioning. Then is spaced repetition.
Okay. Can you repeat that again?
Success,
Yes.
results, behavior act, attitude,
Okay.
attitude
Okay.
hyphen habit of a thought. Attitude is a habit of a thought.
Okay.
Then is conditioning. Then is spaced repetition. Okay?
All right.
So, thus, the results you produce are the consequence of your behavior.
Okay.
So, success, the degrees of success that you enjoy in life depends on results, correct?
Yes.
That you produce. The results you produce are the consequence of your behavior or the way you act. Your
Yes.
behavior reflects your attitude. Your behavior reflects attitude, the way you habitually think. In fact, habit of thought is a perfect description of what an attitude is. Your attitude or your habits of thought are a result of conditioning. It's the conditioning you've had in your house or your school, on the basis of which you have these habits.
Right.
You must remember in the childhood, there used to be situations where, hey, don't go there, don't touch this, don't do this.
Of course.
So these were conditioning by nurturing parents, and that's how you get used to it. So you don't go and touch things. You don't touch hot water. Fire is hot. So these become habit automatically.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
conditioning is just another habit. We have all been conditioned to think and act in certain ways by family, friends, teachers, preachers, and others who have influenced us throughout our lives.
All right.
And finally, our conditioning was caused by the repetition of certain ideas and actions over extended periods of time. So suppose, Josh, your father kept on saying that, if you ride the cycle very fast, you'll have an accident, you will die. So automatically, these conditionings get into your mind because of repetitions somewhere or the other. We call it spaced repetition because it occurs over and over again with intervals of time in between. Now, here is an exciting part. If this is the process that has brought us to have what we are, it means that we can use the same process to determine how we will live in the future. In other words, if we use spaced repetition of powerful ideas and actions, we can change our conditioning process so that the habits of thought, our attitudes change too. The change in attitude will bring about changes in behavior, and results we achieve will improve and grow in significance. The improved results, the quality and the quantity of success we enjoy will also increase.
Right.
Isn't that a very simplified way of understanding success?
Yes.
So think about the idea for a moment and see how I've just told you how to make it possible for you to work a formula and increase your success significantly. That's what we'll be doing in this program. It'll happen. It doesn't happen overnight. It'll take some time, but it'll happen. You didn't go to this situation where you are today overnight either. It took some time to become what you are. So be patient and allow the process to happen.
All right.
Well, Josh, I mentioned the importance of conditioning. Let's talk about conditioning a bit more. Much of conditioning has been positive and productive, but not all of it. You agree?
Yeah.
As children, the word we heard more often than ever was the word no. You can't do this, you can't do that, you won't get this, you won't get that. No. Our parents were well intentioned, trying to protect us from injury or from breaking something. But the word no has been drilled into our minds, and it makes us too cautious. That is where we get into that scare, of entering a territory because will it happen? Because of the word no that has been drilled in. No, nothing can happen to us. It may make us indecisive and it may keep us from approaching life with a healthy and positive optimism that leads us to see the way things can be done rather than dwell on reasons how they can't be done. So let me give you an example of how conditioning works. Whenever you go to the circus or other places, you see an elephant tied up with a small rope or a chain, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that elephant is not strong enough to break that chain or take off that rope and pull off the peg?
He's definitely strong enough
Then why doesn't he do that?
because he is conditioned to think that he is trapped.
So let me share with you a very nice anecdote here. See, when the elephant was small, they tied it up with a small rope. Okay? And a baby elephant obviously doesn't have, so much of strength and all that. So it tried moving here and there, but saw that the rope pulled it and kept it within that distance. So as time went by, the elephant got conditioned in its mind that I am tied to a rope, I can never get away. And hence, the elephant is never tried. So once the elephant becomes big, you tie it with a small rope, it still thinks that I can't get away. So that is an example of conditioning. Many intelligent humans and human beings are like circus elephants. They are restrained in thoughts, actions, and results. They never move out any further than the extent of their own self imposed limitations. The only chain holding them is their own low self esteem or low self concept. Effective personal productivity is designed to help you break these chains. Many intelligent human beings are like circus elephants. They are restrained in thoughts, actions, and results. They never move out any further than the extent of their own self imposed limitations. They make these boundaries in their own mind. The only chain holding them is their own low self concept of an elephant chain. Effective personal productivity is a program designed to help you break the chains and pull away the stakes that may be holding you. Josh, there are three characteristics of successful people. First, the first type of characteristic is positive mental attitude. They look for ways things can be done instead of ways that can't be done. Got it?
Yes.
Second, they are goal directed, so they know where they stand and where they want to go and how they will get there. Third, they are self motivated. No fear, no incentive, nothing. They're self motivated. Like Roger Federer. Do you think a Grand Slam again will make a difference? But he's self motivated enough to get it anyway.
Yes.
So, as a result of this program, you're going to strengthen these success attitude qualities and developing even more positive attitudes, more goal directedness, and you will be even more motivated to achieve your goals. And as you develop a slight edge, that is where you get this edge, the slight edge. We're talking about the slight edge. It's a common perception that there is a difference between people who are average and those who are very successful. The truth is that there is only a little difference between them. We call the difference slight edge. One of the things that EPP, effective personal productivity, will do for you is to show how you can develop that slight edge. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you've seen the photo finish pictures of a horse race, two horses running together,
Yes.
and one wins by a margin of a second on that photo finish.
Right.
So in reality, what happens? The winner is only one. The second one doesn't get to win. And that margin of a second is that slight edge. It's the same way with people. A person who earns 60,000 rupees a month doesn't work 3 times as hard as someone earning 20,000 a month, because he has that edge. Edge makes the difference. This program will show you how you can develop the slight edge.
Perfect.
Josh, before we get involved in the details of the program, let me assure you what this program is and what the program is not.
Okay.
It is not a mental straitjacket. This is not only about theory or ideas. You'll find the concepts in the program practical and flexible. It's not a set of pat answers, this is the right answer and that is the right answer. We all know that in leadership or management situation, there are no pat answers, only principles that can be applied into situations. It's not a lecture series. And what it is, Josh, it's a place to collect best ideas from you and the group. It can become your encyclopedia of leadership and management principles of work. It is a program in which you learn by doing. There are many ideas which sound good in a classroom, but do not produce when you are back at work. In this program, you will get to apply what you learn. So we will be talking about effective personal productivity and the chapters that go in. The introductory chapter 1 is basically an introduction. It talks about total leader. What's a total leader concept? Productivity challenges. There's a form that has to be filled up. The explanation of goal planning system. Okay, I will run you through that. And the 7-day goals. So every session that we have will end up with an application and action of the chapter that we do, which you have to read. You have to read 6 times, listen to it 6 times on the pod, and write notes. And you will have to do work on your 7-day goals. You will have to work on your goal planning system, and you will have to give your participants feedback. And that's how the process works.
Okay.
Okay. In the introduction, basically, as I started off with, it starts with the LMI and Paul Myers and Randy Sletcher. The total leader is basically, is the foundation to the leadership act together to enable you to become a top role model. Then there are productivity challenges in your life, in your individual self. You learn to overcome them. Goal planning forms, 7-day goals. And then we have tracking sheets, 0 to 31 days. Track yourself, how you're doing it. And that's how we will go. Josh, please read the lesson at least 6 times. Listen to it 6 times. Write notes. And you will find that it is permanently etched in your mind on the basis of multisensory recall. Thank you, Josh. The session gets over today. Look forward to the next session next week. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.